Hi guys, so my good friend Nigel Farage got into a bit of a row with a French politician about what's happening in the Channel at the moment. Nigel attempted to use the tired old argument of safe countries, but it demonstrated that he doesn't understand what he's talking about. Look, Nigel Farage was the go-to guy when it came to Brexit. He was invited on almost every TV station. However, his actual knowledge of how Brexit would impact Northern Ireland or UK trade was horribly lacking. Now that Brexit is a bin fire, he's moved on to his next pet project, immigration and asylum. So let's see him demonstrate his lack of understanding of these issues too.
The point is, it is an illegal trade. And yes, of course, they all claim refugee status. But as you know as well as I do, refugee status was clearly defined back in 1951, and you claim it in the first safe country you come to.
No.
That has been the international agreement since 1951.
I'm sorry, but I heard this point a lot of time, especially in the British part of my speaking people. But there is nothing as the first safe country in the Geneva Convention. That does not exist.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
In the Geneva Convention,
Pierre-Henri Dumont, there is a United Nations refugee charter, and all of that, which I think France is still a signatory to, unless of course you're the rogue state, not us as many accuse, and that has been the convention, ever since 1951, and you're saying that's not the case, yeah?
Now, wouldn't you think that if Nigel Farage wanted to defeat this guy, all he'd have to do is hold up the charter, hold up the 1951 convention and say, look, it's written here in black and white, he can quote it verbatim and win the argument. But Nigel doesn't do that. Why does Nigel not do that? Because Nigel is talking out of his behind once again. Now, if we actually look at the 1951 convention, I'm not going to read it all, but the main part of it that's here, there are two sections. The second section is not really about what he's probably talking about. And also, he didn't tell us which part of the 1951 convention, so I have to assume it's Article 31. Nigel didn't tell us which part to look for. But it says here, the contracting states shall not impose penalties on account of their illegal entry or presence on refugees who, coming directly from a territory where their life or freedom was threatened in the sense of Article 1, enter or are present in their territory without authorization, provided they present themselves without delay to the authorities to show good cause for their illegal entry or presence. Now, there are two things here. Illegal entry, so they should not be punished for that. And it talks about coming directly from a territory where their life or freedom has been threatened. So this is what he's trying to say. He's trying to interpret this to say, well, these people haven't come directly from Syria or from Afghanistan. These people are passing through a safe country, and then they're exempt from this convention. But he's actually going further. He's saying that it says in the convention that you must claim asylum in the first safe country. But the concept of safe country is not listed here. It's not part of the 1951 convention that I've seen. Now, if we actually look into a little bit more detail, this is from the UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency. And it says here, there are two parts I want to read. The first is number 11. It says, according to this use of concept, asylum seekers or refugees may be returned to countries where they have or could have sought asylum and where their safety was not jeopardized, whether in that country or through return there from the country of origin. Now, the country of origin is where you're originally coming from, obviously. So there's this idea that, well, if you read Article 31.1, you get this interpretation. But application of the safe country concept to asylum countries poses fewer difficulties than arise with countries of origin, as long as the concept is accompanied by appropriate safeguards. In the first instance, it should be recognized that it has some basis in the phonology of the convention, where the convention requires direct arrival from territories where life or freedom is threatened, before a particular provision can apply, Article 31.1. The notion was also formally put forward in the context of the 1977 Diplomatic Conference on Territorial Asylum, when Denmark proposed that where it appeared that a person already had a connection or close links to another state, if it was reasonable and fair, he or she should be called upon to request asylum from that state. So the idea, yes, if you have connections to a certain state, you should claim asylum there first. It was recognized, though, that asylum should not be refused solely on the grounds that it could have been sought elsewhere. So the idea from the UNHCR is that there was at the beginning this idea that, well, you should only claim asylum in the first safe country you arrive in. This interpretation. The second is that, well, we don't actually do that anymore. We don't punish people who arrive in a second safe country, if you want to put it that way. We don't punish them by saying we're not going to give you asylum. Now, once again, Nigel Farage is claiming that the 1951 convention states that you have to claim asylum in the first safe country. It doesn't. There's nothing written here about claiming the first safe country. This is something that was interpreted later, not in 1951. So once again, Nigel Farage is talking out of his behind. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?